Alright, I've already done some, but I think I want to do this again. Duke Nukem was one of the first computer games that I ever played. I remember getting my first real computer from my brother, so it came pre-installed with all kinds of stuff that he had on it. And he had Duke Nukem 3D. I think he had the original Wolfenstein and a couple of other things. And so I was just captured by the whole thing. Quake was the other one, the first Quake, and that was my first experience with playing computer games. And since then, I played a lot of computer games. I never became really good at it, and I ended up concentrating on school. Because I didn't get my first computer until I was in university. Actually, it was probably not all that common going back, that many decades. But anyways, I have done a little bit of Duke Nukem already in Blender. I did some Duke Nukem 3D, and I did my version of the rooftop scene from Duke Nukem 3D at the beginning of that game. And it was a lot of fun to do, and I've decided that as I'm looking for something else to do, I've spent some time doing stuff from Uncharted and Wolfenstein and The Last of Us, and although I want to go back to those, I still have a real fondness for Duke. And so I've been going back and forth between two main scenes. I like this because of the old graph. I feel kind of relaxed when I look at these graphics, because I tend to be really picky with what I do, and I can get frustrated, as possibly some of you can, with graphics, and it's not easy to do. I mean, it's not always easy to model a thing, let alone texture it and make it look realistic. Well, this does not look all that realistic. Does it look all that difficult to do? There's a lot going on, but it still looks great. I mean, it is an environment that you can look at and just feel sort of immersed in that environment. So I think let's have a look at some of this stuff here. So we've got the bricks here, which could obviously be done in Blender, or they could be done as a texture in Substance Painter. We've got this kind of stuff. We've done a little bit of that before, those sort of sliding garage type doors. So that looks okay. Of course, I've done some air conditioners, and these look pretty flat, don't they? They look pretty much like a texture. We got this part that juts out here, all right, with the balconies, although don't really look like they're sticking out here. You get that impression a little bit more on this one than on this one here. I like this door. I think that's really interesting. I can imagine that with that Substance Painter glass with the dirt in it. I always like doing doors, but you got that door. You got these windows here with some blinds or something in behind, and then you've got a different style door. But I'm thinking of this as well because I'm going to be doing it on video. I like to think that what I do is for relative beginners in Blender, and then I say like me. And so I'm not looking for something that's going to be incredibly difficult. I'm looking for something that's going to be kind of straightforward, that I can model and explain, and it's not going to be really intricate. And so far many of these structures look relatively straightforward. Now let's see if I can switch to the line. You have a section in here that seems kind of different, like a big block of stuff in here. The bricks change really all the way down here as well, and comes down, and then it goes out there. I'll just end it there. So we have some different stuff in there, and I could almost even do a tree. I can't really read this sign. I guess it's in that weird language there. So I'm not sure about this post, and I'm not going to be doing characters or weapons. But it looks like you can see the tiling on the floors. There's not much dirt or grime or anything different here. So it's not like you necessarily see repetition. But we'll have a look at the other picture that I think is the one that I may go for, or I may go for this. I'm not sure. But the thing about this one is I've already done a courtyard scene, and it had the windows and air conditioners and bricks. And so I'd be kind of doing that again, although I'd still like to see a Blender version of this. But let's have a look at the other image. You may not be as impressed with this one because it doesn't have that brick texture, and it looks a little gray and stuff. But there's a few things here that I really like. First of all, this one has the fences. All right, and so actually I'm going to switch to the line tool here. So if I guess I'm still in. Oh well, it doesn't matter. So we get a fence here, and this fence length, of course, you know, these are all the same length. So you build that, you've got it. Looks like you got one up there, and yeah, okay. So we'd have that, okay. Let's get rid of those for the moment. And then what I find interesting are these panels. Look at how repetitive that is, right? So imagine these panels are, let's say this is the plane right here. Can I get into the line tool? There we go. Let's say, I don't know that that's exactly a 1 by 1, maybe not, okay? But let's say that's your plane, and you sort of split it down in half. And then you've got these pieces that are very repetitive. Whether I would choose to do it exactly like that, but you certainly could do it modularly, and you know, you could build up this whole wall. And I would not probably go past what I see in the diagram. I'm not going to pretend to know what's at the top of the building or over on the sides. So you could do that, and then you could take maybe 2 of them to create that section there. And I can't tell exactly why some of this detail is here and what would happen, but let's say that went like that, and then you had a piece, maybe this is too long, you know, 2 of them, so down there, down to there, you know, and then I'm just going to split it like that or something. So you know, so you had 2 of them to make the window, and then you could repeat them. It looks a little different on this side, or maybe it's 2 of these, and then there's this piece in the middle. You could do something like that, and let's say that's repeated here. It's just a camera angle that makes it look a different width, and then you could do that here. So that's those there. I don't know for sure, and there. So that the window piece here could just go in there and here. And I could sort of try to build it together in a modular fashion. I'm going to escape from there for the moment. So I could see building that up, doing something up there. It's a little hard to tell what's going on up here, but I could put a window, and maybe that's a door. Maybe they just do a window anyhow. This looks like sort of a walkway. So we got the fence, we got the wall part, we've got the windows. I don't know what's going on down here. Let's switch to a different one. I'm not sure that's going to work. No, let's try this again. There we go. I don't understand that. It looks like it's on an angle. It's weird to me. But you got this little like utility building down there. You got like a garage going in here, and it looks like it kind of goes around like that. This has sort of got a different pattern, but look at how repetitive that is. All right. So whichever one I would decide to go for, I'm not sure. I really think it's going to be this one, or it's going to be the previous one. And I have a couple of different angles of this shot. I'm just not sure. It would not be exactly the same, of course. It might not even be all that similar, but I'd like to see another version of this, take it from a similar angle you know, with a comparison of this and then seeing it in my version, my Blender Substance Painter attempt at this, and I'll be all in good fun and not taken too seriously. So that is what is coming up. If you're, I hope, interested in that. Like I say, I've got a previous series of modeling Duke Nukem and texturing it. And I think I'm going to try to have a little bit of fun with this, not take it too serious, and throw some textures. Because look at this. I mean, we've got the gray bricks here, and then we've got these ones here on the post part and on the inside that are different from these, different size, different colors. And then, of course, then you got these ones. It all looks really good, but it's kind of sort of like pieced together. And so maybe it gives us some license to not have to stress out too much about that. And I could use some of that. This concrete kind of texture, you know, it's not very high res or anything. And, you know, all of a sudden you're going to have this metal door, you know, against these bricks. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll come up with something to do, but that's what I intend, I think, to do next. So if you're interested, come on back to the channel, subscribe, and hit the notification button, and we will churn out a little more Duke Nukem and keep this guy alive. All right, take care.